And
Hello.
hello, welcome back, and good evening, and welcome to our third Orlando Youth Chamber Ensemble live stream. Tonight is going to be a wonderful night because we're introducing some new things, part of OYCE. We are talking about our string ensembles this evening. So we have some wonderful opportunities to present for you all tonight, and we would like to keep you informed of all of our new developments happening this season. This season, we have added 4 new exciting ensembles. We have our jazz workshop, our vocal jazz ensemble, and tonight, of course, we're going to be introducing our 2 newest string orchestras, along with some new vibrant ensemble directors and staff members to give each one of our ensemble members the best experience possible with Orlando Youth Chamber Ensembles. With that, we would like to give you an update on some upcoming dates we have for this season. Our registration deadline is December 11th. So make sure that you are down below oyce.org/register and get those registrations in. The earlier, the better. Our audition dates have been moved for our jazz orchestra and for our other ensembles, salsa band, and those things will be December 19th. So save the date for the audition, December 19th. And the audition process will be done through Mr. Jesus Lopez, who's right here next to us, and he'll be talking more on that tonight. Our master class series, we've added some new ones. We have our trumpet one happening on November the 8th. It's very exciting. We have Mr. Wayne Bergeron. So I know as a trumpet player, I'm very excited for it. And I know a lot of our students, we have a lot of band directors and college people and whatnot that are very excited for it. But I'm also very excited for our double read. And Mr. Jesus Lopez will talk more about that tonight. And that's happening November 6th. And then we have our last live stream that happens for our woodwinds on the 18th of November, which I'm very excited about. Some great people and friends of mine who will be our ensemble directors this year. And they are wonderful directors and do a fantastic job with our woodwinds. And it's really what the core of what OYCE has been for the last 3 years. And we're so happy to expand it on to strings, to jazz, and to our brass this year. Within that, we have our start date of our season, which will happen December 14th. And again, if we have any updates or changes, again, please be on the lookout for our emails. Check our website, oyce.org. Again, please register as soon as possible. And the sooner that you do it, the better that we can get this ball rolling and really get the season started. Mr. Jesus Lopez, I'm throwing the ball to you now. Anything.
Yeah, so first I want to say thank you guys for joining us and being here. We're super excited for our lineup of staff that we have for you. We have Mr. Daniel Cortez and Mr. Brandon Bangle for you guys, our new string ensemble directors. And they are a treat, let me tell you. But with that, just to elaborate a little bit on what Mr. Figueroa was saying, we have our trumpet clinic this Sunday. Oh my goodness, the days
Sunday.
just are flying by, yeah. And this Friday, our double reed clinic. And I'm especially excited for our double reed clinic hosted by our very own Mr. Devin Bieber, because he's a reed master himself. So if you have any double reed students, oboe and bassoonists that want to learn about how the reed works, how they can adjust them, how they can shape them, tips and tricks on how to play the oboe, bassoon, get a good sound, techniques, fundamentals. We have Mr. Devin Bieber with some special guests. And if you want to know who those special guests are, feel free to check out our Instagram and our Facebook page, right? You can always stay up to date with what we're doing and the events we're coming up, deadlines, and any just news and events on our Instagram at OYCE_official. You'll actually be able to see it right down on the bottom. But yeah, with that, we talked about the audition process a little bit. So the audition process, just to give you guys a little bit more time, I know that with COVID and school and all these other events that are going on, it's just been really hard for everyone to get everything together, and including us over at OYCE. So we postponed the audition to December 19th just to give our members a little bit more time to prepare. Now, you're like, oh, auditions. Yes. So we do have auditions for a couple of our ensembles, including Jazz 1, Jazz 2, our salsa band, and our top string ensemble. And Daniel will talk a little bit more about the top string ensemble in a couple minutes. But and the reason why we have auditions for those ensembles is because of the limitations of those ensembles. We wouldn't be able to run an effective jazz band or salsa band if we had 100 kids in it, right?
Exactly.
But don't worry, OYCE's philosophy is that we don't turn a single student away. So if your student doesn't make the top string ensemble, we do have the chamber orchestra. We have our string ensemble with Mr. Brandon Bengal, a phenomenal teacher in his own right. To just work on technique, pedagogy, and they get the same privileges and the same opportunities as the top string ensemble. They still get guest clinicians, they still get concerts, they still there's again the only difference is the difficulty of the music that is being played. The quality of the education stays consistent throughout all of our ensembles. But a little bit on our audition process. So it is face-to-face unless you have a health condition or an immediate emergency or any religious reason that you can't be face-to-face. And in that case, you'll be able to submit a video audition, and it has to be sent to us by December 19th. For those students who will be auditioning for us face-to-face, it'll be a very safe and simple process. Basically, what we will do is we will let you register for a time, so only 1 to 2 students maximum in the building at any given point in time. Face mask will be required at all time. Hand sanitizing stations will be also present. Each student will be asked to register, to check in after they've already registered. They will play for the judges, safely distanced, well over 6 feet apart. They will be allowed to warm up in a specific area where only that one student is allowed in there. So if you're a trumpet player, trombone player, you will be allowed in the warm-up area one at a time. Then that's the only place that you're allowed to practice warm-up. Just do your last finishing touches, then go to the room. You'll be asked to play your audition. And if you're wondering what the audition is, all you have to do is register for our season, right? We do like to incentivize our students to register for our season to get the audition packet early. The audition packet will go live for everybody, whether you have registered or not, November 14th. So if you are on the fence and you want to look at the audition packet, you have to wait till November 14th. If you're sure you want to join us and you want to audition for our amazing jazz band, our amazing salsa band, and not to mention our super brand spanking new chamber orchestra, please register as soon as possible. And trust me, you won't want to miss these ensembles. But
and if you have any questions for us, for me, Mr. Lopez, we have also a wonderful administration team. Any questions that are directed to us or more information that you need, please email us at info@oyce.org. We will get to you quickly as possible, but any messages or any details that you need more of or need more information of us, please email us at info@oyce.org.
So before we introduce our chamber orchestra director, Mr. Daniel Cortez, I want to ask you guys for a big favor, and that's to take this live stream and share it to your friends. Text someone who you know isn't watching. Be like, hey, check this stuff out. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. Let your, again, friends and family know that we're doing this because we love to be able to answer your questions live as we receive them. So yes, any questions that you put in the comment section or over here or on YouTube, we'll be able to see, and we'd be more than happy to answer. But without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to the one and only Mr. Daniel Cortez. Mr. Daniel Cortez over here. Hey, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I remember when I met Daniel, we just like, he runs an amazing nonprofit too called Symphonic Underground, and I won't talk too much on them because he'll come back and talk about them and I think at the end of this. But we were chatting, and he sent one of his, someone who works for Symphonic Underground to a jazz band rehearsal because we were just happening to do playing a bunch of really cool anime jazz charts with their top big band, and we were trying to collaborate on a concert. Unfortunately, the current situation happened, right? COVID happened, so we didn't get to make that happen last season. But don't worry, this season for sure. Right, and we ended up both getting hired for the same gig at Boone High School, right? And we hadn't met at this point, and we're just like, "Wait, you're Daniel?" He's like, "Wait, you're
that guy. You're that guy."
So we started talking, hanging out. We're playing a musical over at Boone High School. Yeah, fun times.
Yeah, you never know how these things are gonna pan out. You never know who you're gonna run into at these things, and yeah, it was definitely serendipity all around. So I'm
Absolutely,
so
it's a
happy
small
that
world, especially the music world. And it's super cool.
yeah.
But yeah, in addition to running Symphonic Underground, I know he plays with like every orchestra under the sun. Well, he's a viola player, which is really cool in its own right. So I know viola players are always far and few between, right?
That's one of
So
the jokes. Yeah, that's
exactly.
that's what they rag on us for. But it
Okay.
works to our advantage, you know. And actually, that's one of the reasons that I switched. So I started on violin, and I played violin for 3 years, and then I switched to viola right before high school because everybody told me there's less competition, there's more scholarships, you know, and that's all I needed to hear. I pretty much made the switch, and I don't regret it. You know, I managed to pay for, you know, it paid. I got scholarships and all kinds of stuff that if I had stayed with violin, it would have been way harder. And so no regrets here. Uh,
Um,
Happy to
it's
still do it.
I'm telling you, that's why I play oboe and bassoon. It's just it gets you work, man. It gets you work. But
100%.
I know, right? And so, Daniel, I know you have a piece prepared for us, so I'm gonna let you take it away and show the audience your skills, your mad, crazy viola skills.
We're gonna play a little bit of. I'm gonna play a little bit of sultry Spanish music. This is an excerpt from. This is an excerpt from Carmen. It's the Habanera by George Bizet. And well, uh, ole! That's it.
If I had a dozen roses, I'd be tossing them in the air right now.
I wanted to I wanted to play a little bit because I think it's important for directors to also show that they're able to play an instrument. You know, it doesn't a string director doesn't necessarily have to play a string instrument, but I would trust them more if they were good at whatever instrument they happen to be good at, you know? Um so
I agree with you 100%. It's always great to have a director reassure their students that you're still a musician and that you do these things and that you're playing your instrument all the time. And for them to realize that they're being taught by a musician, it helps out a whole lot, especially in our ensembles.
And
yeah,
I just want to add that too, that it's not just someone who like plays their instrument for fun or for the enjoyment of music, but also plays it at the highest level. I know, like if you check
not
out
the
like
highest. I got come on, I got
the highest levels in our local ensembles,
yeah.
like Daniel, what are some of the professional ensembles and symphonies that you play with around town?
I play with Brevard Symphony in Melbourne. I play with the Villages Philharmonic that's in Leesburg. There's actually a really nice little concert hall in the Villages called
Yeah,
Sharon Morse Center. It's
yeah.
beautiful. And it's so random because it's out there in Leesburg. You know, it's sort of out there like in the middle of like you know, it's like farms and stuff. And then but the villages are crazy and beautiful. That's really
Shout
nice
out,
concert hall.
shout out to
Um,
Pasquale, man, the real
Hey,
deal.
yeah, that's right. And he's built something. Yeah, he's built something really incredible there. And I'm so proud of the level that you know that they've established. Where else do I play? I play with Space Coast Symphony also in Melbourne. I have not played with Orlando Philharmonic yet. So if any if any OPO people are watching, let me get in there. Hook me up, please. And some other recent, some other really recent gigs that I was really proud of that were not classical, but were still orchestral. Were I played in an orchestra with the Who, the famous rock band The Who, just in the past year. That was awesome. We were their rehearsal orchestra, so before they went on tour, we helped them prepare. You know, they prepared their stuff there, and then they went on tour. And then at the end of their tour, they came back to Florida. So we saw them like at the beginning before anything, and then at the very end as well. So that was neat. And I got to play in a string quartet with the Beach Boys on their farewell tour just about like a year or two ago. And that was super cool because we like actually got to sit down and eat dinner with them. Usually they tell you, you know, you're not supposed to really talk to the talent. If you're like the quartet or the orchestra, you can get in trouble for approaching the featured artist, right? You guys know this, but I'm sort of saying like to whoever's watching. And that was neat because they actually, you know, we were invited to sit down and eat, like dig into the buffet with them and stuff. And another one that was really fun was I got to play principal viola for Weird Al. Did like 4 or 5 shows here in Florida, and that was like a dream come true. The very first CD that I ever bought with my own money was a Weird Al CD, and to get to play Amish Paradise on him on stage was just like ridiculous. Like you never know where this music stuff is going to take you. Like I would 20 years ago, if I thought like I would never have imagined that I'd play with rock stars and like travel the world and stuff. Like I just wanted to play, you know, and then it ends up taking you to all of these like crazy places. And so that's why I'm really excited to like share that with the youth, right? Because they need to know that there's like a future in that, right? You know, you have a lot of high school students and stuff that are like discouraged from doing music and, oh, well, it's risky and then this and that. And even if you don't go on to do it professionally, you still learn a bunch. But if you do it professionally and you go on to pursue it, the opportunities that it unlocks is just insane.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the reason why we had Daniel talk about some of his experiences and some of the groups that he's playing with is because it's one of our founding philosophies and core beliefs that your music teachers in school are amazing. They're all great teachers and educators, but we're here to offer you guys a supplementary education, right? My band director in high school, who, fun fact, actually works for OYCE, super cool. But he's a trumpet player, and I played clarinet, and I played the woodwind instruments in high school, and he helped shape me to be a better musician. But sometimes there's just tips and tricks, like all the secrets of the clarinet or the oboe, or if your teacher is a flute player, then like, oh, secret fingerings on trumpet or viola and all that just sometimes it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So that's why we try and get you guys, one, to collaborate and work with other students who play the same instruments as you or like instruments like string instruments or double reeds or whatever it is. And then more importantly, put someone who plays your instrument in front of you, right? So like I don't know very many viola players, and we're so glad that we have Dana on our staff. But it's just like, oh yeah, the viola and the violin, and he could tell you more about this, aren't the same instrument. Like there's different techniques and secrets to the viola and to the violin. So now we have Daniel, who's actually a violist who plays professionally, to be like, no, this is how you play the viola. It's not a violin. And yes. Again, we're not right, and we're not. Obviously, can take private lessons, continue doing that. That's why we have some of our partners like ASM Studios and Swords, Oviedo, because we encourage you, take private lessons. But this is another outlet, again, for you to learn from people who play your instrument and learn from someone who plays your instrument and become one with your instrument. But again, and a total side note, again, feel free to add your comments in the comment section, right? We love to have Daniel or Antonio or myself answer your questions, and our other string ensemble director who's patiently waiting to jump on. But yeah, again, we'd love to answer your questions. But with that, I want to talk to you, Daniel, real quick. So tell me about your vision for our chamber orchestra, our top ensemble, top string ensemble, that is.
So I would like the chamber orchestra to be a training ground um, for serious young musicians who want to further their craft, who want to dig deeper, um, and not necessarily, to train them to go on to be professional musicians, but to give them skills that they can apply, that will make them both great musicians and great people overall. Because even if you're awesome at your instrument, nobody wants to work with you if you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So so you teach them some life skills, some valuable sort of protocols and stuff. How to work in teams, especially because the ensembles are chamber ensembles, so they're small. It's not, you're not lost in a sea of like faces. You're not in 100-piece, 60-piece orchestra or something. I mean, since we're starting, it's probably going to be something like maybe like a double string quartet or something.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty small, and you're going to receive such individualized attention that, because I started through the public school systems, and we were lucky because we had some teachers and stuff, some like adjuncts and some local musicians that would come in and do like classes and lessons and stuff. But I still never felt that you know I I felt that some things still went unaddressed. And so then, when I started joining chamber ensembles, in which I think I joined my first string quartet probably in like ninth grade or something. Then at that point, I felt like my progress really accelerated tremendously, because you weren't just like a part of a 6-person section. Like, you're responsible for your part, and and you're totally liable for that, and you're under the microscope. And so, and I think it's good to be under the microscope, not necessarily with too much like pressure, but just enough to where certain things don't, slide under the rug unnoticed. Um, but my vision for the chamber orchestra is, to have an ensemble that is both capable, and versatile. So we're going to play classical music. We're going to play video game music. As you can see, there's Pikachu. Um, there's the thing from Video Games Live. These are also from posters of concerts that I played and stuff. They're just conveniently, spread out. Total coincidence that they're just happened to be behind me. Um, and and so we're gonna play video game music, which I'm a huge advocate of. That's my well, Jesus mentioned my orchestra, Symphonic Underground, that we specialize in video game music. So we're gonna play classical music. We're gonna play video game music. We're gonna throw some jazz music in there. I really want them to be able to handle different styles, and um and to be able to adapt, because you cannot play well, you can't play Mozart like Charlie Parker, or you every composer, every style has its own conventions. And so that's what I would like to share with them, is to, and it's for the ones that are serious, for the ones that want to go on to pursue it in college. I would also want to make sure that they're ready to handle, they're ready to set a benchmark and a standard, that they won't be surprised by once they arrive at the university level, because that can be a little jarring to make that transition. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And what's one of the things that we really strive for is to give each ensemble its own individuality, but having a the same core principles. So like we that's what we believe here over at OYCE. But I want to ask you another question, Mr. Daniel. So our clarinet choir is pretty unique. I only know one other group that does something like that. The same with our flute choir and trumpet ensemble and all the other groups that we have. What's a little different about the string ensemble, I feel, is that there's other organizations around town that offer something very similar to that. I know that there's FSYO, there's CFC Arts, there's oh my goodness, Gift for Music, there it is. And by the way, so side note, we encourage all students, all of our members and students who aren't our members, check them out. Like, go give them, if that's what you're about, please, by all means. We encourage our members to be in as many groups as possible.
They're all amazing organizations.
Yeah,
and there's
absolutely.
so many of them scattered throughout the Central Florida area that we're like spoiled by how many different, you know, professional groups and youth ensembles and nonprofits and stuff. Like, you know, it's really the area is set up for success as long as we keep pushing for it.
But yes, so check them out by all means. I know, right? And this is again one of our core beliefs and philosophies. This is not about us; it's about our community. So you'd be like, wait, why is this guy promoting these other groups and he's trying to promote his? Because it's not about just OYCE. It's about giving our members and our students a more complete education and more opportunities to be successful, whether it be in music or just in whatever career and life path you're trying to go in. But how is our group going to be a little bit more unique and a little bit different than all the other groups?
I think that what will make it stand apart is that the other groups focus almost exclusively on classical and like sort of standard orchestral repertoire, as they should, because it's a huge, you know, I mean, these are milestones of human achievement. So they should be acquainted with that. But I find that in that process that some popular styles get overlooked and some genres that have incredible music and that actually blend multiple genres. Like you could say, you know, video game music is a super wide sort of umbrella term because you could go from one video game and it's got like Latin vibes, and then you go to the next one and it's like techno, and then you go to the next one and it's like Baroque sounding, you know. And so video game music is sort of like the fusion of all styles. And so that's one of the real distinguishing features that I also wish that I had growing up in ensembles. What's that?
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking of like Gerudo Valley, and I'm also a giant nerd, so I just finished playing the Final Fantasy VII remake. I think we were talking about this, and I was just thinking about like Sephiroth's theme at the end. I'm just like, wow, this music is so cool.
It's epic, yeah, for sure. And I truly believe that the music will be, well, I mean, you already have college courses popping up, like history of video game music, how to create video game music. You have video game music composition programs springing up. I truly believe that within our lifetimes that we'll see video game music studied and celebrated in textbooks. So,
oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's just like how jazz wasn't in the schools, and now you can major in it, and the same now with commercial music. It's just, and it's that's the beauty of music. It's just the evolution and how inclusive it can be, right? I know that sometimes music, like professional musicians, get stigmatized as like, oh, you're so exclusive. Oh, Beethoven every day, which I mean, I love Beethoven. Our dog is named Beethoven. That's how much we like Beethoven. But
there's other types of music out there. There's other stuff. Like, you don't have to get stuck on one thing. You know, you can explore other types. It's good for you, and it's necessary for growth.
But thanks so much, Daniel. But don't worry, guys. We're gonna bring Daniel back, but we're gonna bring on our string ensemble director, Mr. Brandon Bangle, the one and only. Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Good, sir. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody.
Hey, so a quick introduction. If you notice, like Wait, why is this guy in his car? Fun fact: he's our string ensemble director, but he also teaches and coaches a drum line. That's so awesome, so cool. But Mr. Brandon
Jack of all
Bangle,
trades.
right? If he looks familiar to a couple students, it's because he also his day job is he acts as the orchestra director over at Olympia High School. So we'll have Brandon talk a little bit about himself, but we're so excited to have him on our staff and talk to him about how we can again continue to make this a better organization, not just for us, but for everyone in the community. So hi Brandon, how's it going?
Hey guys, hey everybody, how are you? What's going on? How's it going?
Great.
Going well.
So, well, thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to do this. I'm very excited to start this thing. Start this orchestra, be a part of this. I'm being late and but do not for pretty much teaching orchestra and orchestra and just living it, right?
Hello?
I
Brandon?
do.
I'm so sorry.
Can you
Breaking up a
hear
little
me?
bit. Yeah, you're just like
No. I apologize. Good things. Where did? Oh no.
oh no. So while Brandon gets his while he fixes some small technical difficulties, don't worry, he'll be back, and we're still super excited to talk to him. We're gonna let
That's
him.
the thing with these live streams, man. There's always something. There's always something with the with live streams. It's so persnickety.
Oh, 100%.
But it's funny. That's what's the saying again? It's like that's the beauty of live television. It's not live television, but it's close enough, right?
Exactly. But with that being said, of course, down below, again, please register. A couple of things to remind you of. We do have our trumpet masterclass happening this Sunday on the 8th. We have our double read happening this Friday on the 6th. And again, we'll have our woodwind live stream happening on the 18th. And now we have Mr. Brandon back with us.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Hey, what up?
I'm sorry. I'm Cal.
And no, and I'm so glad.
Yes.
I'm so glad, like y'all get to see this because it's a life of a real life working musician. It's hectic
Yes.
and it's crazy and it's all over the place. But I always tell all my students, I'm like, it's not a career; it's a lifestyle.
100%.
Pretty much, it is a life. It's a lifestyle again over and over. What I do when I love orchestra and at OYCE is gather with the students and doing it. And you can still hear me. I'm Brandon Bangle. Small. That was long. First, is probably down to.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I think you're still
Everything.
breaking up a little bit, but. Hello?
Am I back? Back. Hello.
Hello? Hey, I think you're still breaking up a little bit.
Hey. Okay, I'm still here.
Hey.
I'm still here. So, I a little bit. I've taught instrumental. I've taught students 25, all different countries, all and I'm really to create. So
fantastic. Yeah. So hello?
Did you hear all that?
We got like half of it, but it's okay.
I'm here.
So, but yeah. So, I want to talk to you about your ensemble. So, I know with your ensemble. We have Daniel who runs our chamber orchestra, which is an audition only. 21 member is the maximum that we can have in that group, and it's again like one or two basses and like a handful of violins and all that. But with your group, it's again, I know that the quality of the education is there's no difference between the of the top group and your group. But like, how are some ways that you're going to make your ensemble unique and interesting and different than like a high school or middle school orchestra?
Well, our group as Daniel's group are
Oh, it happened. We lost Brandon.
We lost him. But I could hear pulling out some things. You know, he said he wants to make sure that his group is aligned with Daniel's group and making sure that those players are, if not as the same quality, but to be able to move up and to progress in that. And that's a lot of great things for our string directors and our ensembles, and seeing that growth and pushing up into the higher ensembles, and if not matching and having that competing nature. So I enjoy a lot of those things and hearing what he's talking about.
Absolutely. And one of the really cool parts is, again, like, for example, we have 2 string ensembles, but we also have 2 jazz bands and 2 saxophone choirs and 2 clarinet choirs. So like, I know that I run the clarinet choir personally, as surprise, right? For those of you that didn't know. But we work, Mr. Christian Ricketts, who you'll meet in 2 weeks, him and I already talked about pieces we want to do together, and collaborative pieces, and him running the top clarinet choir, and I'm making guest appearances at the second clarinet choir. In addition to the clarinet choir, I also run the jazz band. And I know that we have Mr. Chris Medina, who runs our jazz workshop, and he was at all of our rehearsals, helping out a rhythm section, because he's a guitarist. So again, we pride ourselves in making sure that we put people in front of you who know your instrument. So I play the saxophone, and the clarinet. And so I'd work with the winds, and he'd work with the rhythm section, and we used to work together, just making sure that our students get a nice and complete education. But absolutely. Oh, hey, there you are. Third time's a charm, right? Is that what they say?
Oh, of course. Murphy's Law.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, this is what do they say? The show must go on. Welcome to live television. They're getting a glance into our life.
You can't hear.
Hello? No, it's okay. So, but while we give Mr. Bangle an opportunity to get situated and get all that worked out, I want to actually let Mr. Daniel Cortez, and don't worry, we're going to talk about our string ensembles, and we're going to talk about all this together. But we here at OYCE, we really, really believe in again, helping the community and giving back, and giving not just musical opportunities, but also resources to you guys. I know that a couple of years back, we were privileged enough to have Van Doren come out to our rehearsals, and all the students got free reeds, and they got to play test mouthpieces. They got to play test mouthpieces. They got to get free pencils, and a workshop with the amazing state, right? Technology, right? And she was absolutely wonderful. And Daddario also came out. Daddario came out with Dr. Sarah Eastwood, and they got to play test mouthpieces. We gave away a couple of ligatures, reeds, equipment. It was wonderful. We're also a nonprofit organization now, so we give out tax-exempt receipts. I know we got donated some instruments, we got donated some equipment, and this time away, we're giving out a piece of equipment to a lucky student. So this student was entered. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let Daniel, you talk about it a little bit.
Sure. So I'm really excited about this particular initiative because it just sort of came up out of nowhere. one of my stand partners in high school orchestra reached out to me, let's say in the past year or something, and we had kept in touch. And he says, "Well, I have this instrument laying around. I don't use it for anything. He's a professional chef, so." Music is like a very important part of his life, but he's not he's not like a practicing musician, so he had no need for it. It's just sitting around, and he very generously approached me and was like, I think this would be better put to use if it were played by somebody, if it were being used. um, and so I started thinking, and so what we did is we made a competition out of it. We had players submit a few solo excerpts of their choice, and there was an essay portion and stuff. So they had to demonstrate their need. They had to tell me what they were going to do with music, what music meant to them. And I was so lucky that out of the ones that crawled out of the woodwork, which was wonderful. We found one in particular that was an extremely good fit. Um, and her name is Gianella. Actually, Brandon, who will probably pop back in here eventually. Brandon is her teacher, and she's awesome. So I can tell that she's in good hands in that program, and I am so happy that she. I don't even know how she heard about it, but
Yeah. By the way, side note, that was a total coincidence. It wasn't like, oh, Brandon's on our staff, let's give this instrument to her student. It was just like she applied for it, and we're like, oh wait, that's super cool.
That's right. Yeah, that was super neat. Yeah, I totally serendipity is like a real thing. And so that's funny how that worked out. And so she the written portion was like very poignant. I could tell that she was playing on an instrument that was too small for her, which is for any musician that's growing up, um, is terribly uncomfortable. There's no way that you can properly learn and play and do anything really on an instrument that's either too big or too small. um, so we're happy that this is more this is a larger instrument that is going to be an upgrade from what she currently has, and hopefully a sort of in between until she finds like a more professional instrument. And and I really hope that this becomes part of a larger initiative to track down instruments, violins and cellos and wind instruments. And so if you're watching and you happen to have an instrument that's laying around, would you please contact us through the website, or Jesus, I don't know how you would have what's your preferred method of.
Exactly. So we'd love, and honestly, this isn't for our use. The students will be able to take these instruments home, practice on them, use them in their school programs, use them for their extra projects, their extracurricular youth orchestras, private lessons.
They can take them home. They don't have to sit in the locker or anything. I know
Yes.
that also keeps kids from practicing in the evenings, that some of them can't take the instruments home from school and stuff. So this is this is my chance. This is our chance to give back, and to make better quality instruments available to kids who need them desperately for growth. And on a personal note, I had my instrument in high school gifted to me in a similar fashion through our youth orchestra. We had private like benefactor that that found an instrument and let me use it for all of high school, and it got me into college. And actually, it's the same exact model instrument that is being given to Gianella. So I know for sure it's good enough to get her into college. Should she pursue that? And I believe that she wants to go for that. She wants to aim for that next step. So yeah, so since and we didn't have the resources to get private lessons, to get to buy or even rent an instrument, and so I'm so super grateful for those things that were made available, and it's only the right thing to do for me to pass that on to future generations.
Exactly. So before we listen to her talk, she's not here with us in person on the stream, but she really wants to speak. So we have a small little recording of her, of some stuff that she wanted to say to us and to Daniel and to you guys. But we want to, if you guys wanted to continue this and help us out, if you guys have a nice clarinet or a nice saxophone, trombone, drum, any instrument that you guys have, we'd love to make sure that it gets into the hands of a deserving student. Anything and everything that you guys donate to OYCE or to Symphonic Underground is completely and 100% tax deductible. You get a tax exempt receipt from us. It stays in our possession. This instrument will go to the student until they get their own professional or even better model once they go off into college. So it's theirs for as many years as they're not just in our program, but in their music program. So again, if you have that old trumpet in the attic or that clarinet sitting in the back of your closet and you're like, oh, what should I do with this? We'd love to take it off your hands. And again, not for OYCE purposes, but for the purpose of giving an opportunity to a student who might not have a great instrument. I went to middle school that was a little rough there. And I was fortunate enough to have someone give me my clarinet that I still use to this day. So you'd be making a difference in someone's life that will help shape them for the rest of their lives. But with that, I think we have a small little video of this of the student who received the viola, and we'll let you guys hear from her a little bit.
Hi everyone, my name is Janela Mirabal. I'm a Venezuelan living in Florida. I'm 15 years old, violist. I just wanted to say thank you so much for this opportunity that you guys are giving me. My current violin is too small for me, and this one viola is going to help so much to improve my talent to the end of the high school. I want to study something related with music, culinary, and business. I want to be part of a professional orchestra and have my own restaurant in the future. I hope you guys can keep helping other musicians to reach their goals. Bye.
So, and I'll let you, you've been the one that's been communicating with her and make sure that she has the instruments. I'm gonna let you talk a little bit on that.
Yeah, that's right. So as you can tell from the video, she knows what she wants to do with her future. She said she wants to open up a restaurant and she wants to play in professional orchestras. And she demonstrated, especially for her age, very high level of playing and facility. And so so I was super excited when she sent her application in, because because there was some good players, but she had a good technique and good foundations, and
Thanks, Brandon, for that.
Mhm.
Thanks for
Yeah,
her good foundation and good
that's
techniques.
right.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Brandon, for setting her. Yeah, totally. And she's in good hands there. She comes from a good background. Her family was super nice. Talked to her dad on the phone as well, because we're organizing actually this Sunday, I believe we're gonna actually do the exchange, and we're gonna do the instrument handoff. So we're organizing that, and
And if you
they're
want
just
to see
like,
that, you have to make sure you follow us at our social media.
that's
So
right.
OYCE_official, over Orlando Youth Chamber Ensembles over on Facebook, and Symphonic Underground, their Facebook and their Instagram as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely be posting the exchange, because it's literally changing somebody's life. Um, there's no reason that somebody should be restricted from honing a craft or from pursuing a dream simply because of resources, you know. And money is for sure one of the most prohibitive, like, and restrictive things in music. I mean, music is expensive. You have equipment, you have sheet music, you have travel expenses, you have, you know, private lessons, schooling. I mean, all of these things add up, and the average person, honestly, like, it can't. Well, it's not that they can't. I mean, average people do. I'm sure Jesus came from like a modest background. You know, for sure, I came from kind of a rough, sort of roughish, like lower middle class background. And so, yes, you can definitely make it, but it was super hard because constantly you're having to worry about, oh, where am I going to get, you know, especially like to make the jump between a student and a professional level instrument is mind boggling, because at a at the low end, when you're in college, you're looking at, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 instruments easily. um, um, my viola is worth is more than that is. I mean, the price tag goes all the way up to, you know, Stradivarius instruments that are like in the millions.
$1 million, yeah.
So it's a wide.
By the way, if you have a Stradivarius violin and you're donating it to
If
OYCE,
you have a Stradivarius, yeah, no, if you have a Stradivarius, I'm keeping that one.
Let us know.
That one's, let us know. That one's going in the private collection. No, I'm just kidding.
More than happy to take that off your hands. But well, we're gonna have Mr. Antonio Figueroa jump us on this with us on the stream real quick. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I think you're muted. Again, we love technology, but
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
absolutely. But well, what we wanted to ask you guys is, oh my goodness, total brain fire. Again, the beauty of live television.
Before you go on, I do want to add, we did lose Brandon, but we were asking questions back and forth. So I do want to answer some of the questions that we did in text. We asked him about what kind of music he wanted to play with his ensemble. And he says he's definitely going for different styles and wants to perform what best fits the ensemble and see what sounds good. You know, that's the purpose of music, is to make sure you play stuff that sounds good and playing things that are enjoyable for the audience. And then our second question was, will he be bringing in any guest clinicians to run rehearsals? And he says he wants to definitely outreach what we already have in the community, using a lot of the great teachers and musicians that we already have in Orlando, and having those people and mentor and work with our students. So a lot of great things are going to be happening within our second string ensemble that we have coming up for this season.
And one thing I wanted to touch back on is about this whole audition process is you don't have to audition. If your goal is to just be in Mr. Bangle's ensemble, by all means, you do not have to audition. The audition is only for the students who really want to be in our top chamber orchestra with Mr. Cortez. And he picked out some really fun excerpts and etudes for you guys to play. But again, we're not forcing any student to have to audition. So if you want to be part of OYCE and you just don't feel comfortable doing that, by all means, hey, just put it in your registration that you are going for Mr. Brandon's ensemble, and ta-da! It's as simple as that. Please remember that all of our ensembles, not just our string ensembles, but are for students from 7th grade to seniors in high school. If you have a 6th grader, a student a little younger, we'd be more than happy to work with you on a case-by-case basis. But typically 7th grade to seniors in high school, and that means you can, if you have a very gifted 7th grader who can play with our seniors and juniors and all that, they'd have a shot at making our top group. We don't turn anybody away. Again, our top group is based off their audition, which is an audition with not just Mr. Cortez, but a panel of our string faculty, so Mr. Brandon, Mr. Cortez, Mr. Casada. So we have in addition to our string directors, we also have a bunch of extra supplementary staff members that help outreach to the community and our admin team and our 26 interns that we have. So, yeah, right. So plenty of resources to make sure that the audition process is as comfortable as it can be, right? Auditions are still nerve-wracking, but as your students as comfortable as it can be. And plenty of resources throughout the season. Like, just because Mr. Cortez runs the top group, don't you think that Mr. Bango won't be there, and vice versa, or have all of our partners come out and our interns and the local university. So there's plenty of resources for everybody. But with that, I'm actually going to invite our one and only, the legendary, mystical, magical. She's looking at me. So this person, she's one half of LNG Live, which is another one of our partners, and they do commercial music. They gig. It's a duo, trio, party ensemble, any kind of ensemble that you need for any of your events. But in addition to that, I know she also works with Prodigy, right? And the toughest job she's ever had in her entire life is dog mom. No, just kidding. She's one of our social media marketers alongside Nadine Jimenez. So without further ado, Miss Olivia Jennings.
Hi.
I'm gonna put this here so I can hear you too.
Okay, for me. Well, this is Utley. He's the most important part of this. So this is my baby Utley. I am Olivia Jennings. Like Jesus said, I am the media marketer with Nadie here at OYCE. I am also the co-owner of LNG Live with my fiance, Gus Rodriguez.
Fiance, that's so weird.
I know, it's weird.
See, her fiance and I went to high school together, so we're just like, and now he's like engaged and all that.
He's never not mentioned it. Where do you go to school again?
Wait, hold on.
Oh no.
Hey, where do you go to high school?
The great and famous Cypress Creek High School in Orlando, Florida.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Figueroa.
They can't not talk about it. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this is my time. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'll just talk about
we
Gus
are
growing up.
About what?
Gus growing up.
Oh God, we are an acoustic duo and trio. We specialize in pop, classic rock, and country, but we also do a lot of. He's gonna bite you. A lot of requests, which is how we actually got one of my favorite songs to play. We just played it.
Moondance?
Moondance, it's definitely my favorite. Actually, it's Yeah by Usher.
Oh.
It was a random request at Pinka, which is a awesome new bar in Apopka, and it's also an art studio. It's really cool.
Oh, so let's say, I have a birthday party. I don't, because I'm always working on my birthday. But so I have a birthday party and I want to hire LNG Live. How do I go about that?
Well, you can reach us on Facebook or Instagram at LNG Live, LANDGLIVE, or you can reach us at our email, landglive@hotmail.com. I will be the one answering all of your correspondence. So we do get a ton of emails a day. So if we don't respond to you right away, please.
And they're absolutely amazing. So amazing that our other social media marketer, her cousin has a birthday party, and I think they'll perform at the birthday.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, that's what
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's on my calendar and everything.
Yeah.
I know.
She's very organized. That's why she's on the team, because
I have 3 planners, 3 agendas.
So there you go. But thanks so much, Olivia. And then remember, for all of your events and parties, every single person on our staff is a musician in some way, shape, or form. In addition to that, she's also classically trained vocalist, right? Mm-hmm. So we'd love for you guys to be able to get to listen to Olivia and Nadie and Gus and Utley. Right,
he's on there. He's on our Instagram quite a bit. He's actually our band manager.
Look at that.
I know.
So any of your performances in your events. So thanks so much, Olivia.
Thanks. Go back to my real job now.
Right. She's also managing our stream. Hey, there you are.
Good morning.
Yeah, Olivia also wanted me to mention that you should like our Instagram pictures because she works very hard alongside Nadie creating all those posts for you guys.
And they are wonderful and flyers. Enjoy every single time I see one.
Yeah, so let's aim for 17 million likes on every single picture. All right.
You heard it, 17 million likes. Share it. Let's go for 50,000 shares. I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. Nadie gave us a thumbs up. because she believes in 17 million likes. Yep, there she is.
Like,
Hey,
subscribe, and share.
um,
Smash that like button.
right? You sound like a real YouTube reality. But with that, I think Brandon is back. We're gonna try and get Brandon on here. Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
Well, it depends on if you.
It's a little better, but we're still
No.
struggling a little bit. But with that, I think we are approaching the end of our stream. If you didn't get a chance to put your questions in the comment, we'd be more than happy to answer you guys over at info@oyce.org. If you put your questions or comments of appreciation or anything you want to put in the comments, we'd be more than happy to have Livia and Nadie, our amazing social media team, answer your questions on there. If you want to, I know that Mr. Brandon Bangle and Mr. Daniel Cortez have their own OYCE official emails. So if you have any questions for them directly, you'll be more than welcome to email them at their first name dot their last name at, are you ready for this? OYCE.org.
Perfect.
I know, right? Hey, that goes for all of us. Every staff member, if you want to reach out to the social media team and tell them how great of a job they do, just put their name and then their last name at OYCE.org. If you want to reach out to me, it's my first name, then my last name, my last name at OYCE.org. The same goes for Antonio and everybody on our staff, including our interns. So with that, I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to, we can't leave yet because we need to let Mr. Daniel real quick talk about Symphonic Underground.
What's that? Oh, well, it's a video game orchestra that specializes in just music from video games and music from cartoons, trying to do some music from film, basically music from media. There are already plenty of other orchestras playing Beethoven. There are a couple contemporary orchestras in the area that cover the avant-garde stuff. And so I thought it was necessary to, promote an important part of musical culture, which is video game music. I think that it's going to be one of the keys to preserving the classical tradition and to preserving orchestra is to embracing popular styles and especially stuff that's more widely embraced by younger people, because if we're being perfectly frank, most of the people that you see at orchestra concerts are well over the age of 50. Whereas when you go to our concerts, I want to say the average age is like between 20, maybe 25 to 35, 40, sort of like a young adult. So we get like a spread of, and then we'll get some older people as well. And and I really like running into the older folks, especially because after the concert, they'll stop me and they'll say, I've never played a video game. I've never listened to any video game music. And I'm so happy that I stumbled upon it. I'm so happy that you've helped me like discover this area of music that I didn't know that video game music was so good. And that's one of the biggest compliments. So, and that's something that I want to bring into this organization is a balance between the classical tradition and looking ahead, looking to the future, to preserve what we have, because a lot of people have worked really hard to get music and to get the level in the area to where it's at. So so that's sort of a fun little thing that we're doing. And I know that even though it was kind of choppy, Brandon was saying that he also wants to do some styles, some different styles and so that will be interesting and fun to to integrate everything, and to be able to give them some more like diverse background and training. So, and and you may have not heard. I don't know if it came through in the stream either, but Brandon has extensive teaching experience in the school systems, and he's awesome at what he does, and he has an incredibly good reputation in the area. So it'll be. I can't wait to to start working on this thing together.
But yes, so quick question, Mr. Dana Cortez, how do we find out more information about Symphonic Underground? Where can we look you guys up?
Right. So we have a Facebook page that's Symphonic Underground Productions. We have an Instagram that's also Symphonic Underground. And that's where we do most of our, that's where we do most of our updates. And then also we have a website that is just symphonicunderground.com.
Which is actually right here on the bottom.
Oh, nice. There it is.
Hey!
Hey.
Thanks,
Cool.
Mike.
Yep, that's the one. And we have, we don't, we have clips from studio work that we've done. We have I have some solo clips from solo recitals, also some video clips of chamber concerts, and so check that out if you can follow us on the various pages and stuff, especially Facebook, on Instagram, Symphonic Underground. I'd appreciate it. And we're going to start doing some chamber concerts here in the next, I want to say in the next, 3 to 6 months. Some plans for a chamber concert series are going to start brewing. So, so please look.
I'm still waiting for that Sephiroth music at your concert.
Yeah, it will be. That's pretty much a given. We need to have also an entire choir chanting in Latin. That's
absolutely. But with that, we're gonna add Mr. Bangle back on the stream real quick. Hey, but we want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. We have a couple more master classes and events, and the string one is coming up. We have a doozy planned for you guys, but I can't reveal very many details on it yet. I'm gonna make sure everything is nice and ready. Our staff, they know about it and super, super excited about it.
Yeah.
We all are.
I almost dropped it.
It's a big secret, but when we'll let you guys know who it is, and I'm telling you, you will not believe it. But with that, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just reach out to us. We're always more than happy to answer any and all of your questions. We have this Friday. We have let me let Mr. Antonio Figueroa. He has it scripted. I'll mess up.
Thank you. And again, please follow us on our Instagram pages and our Facebook. Check out our YouTube. We have some things that we posted on there. We have our masterclass series coming up. We have our double read this Friday. So if you look up on our website, OYCE.org, you can sign up there for our master classes. And then we also have our trumpet with the wonderful Wayne Bergeron this Sunday on the 8th of November. So please sign up. Those spots are filling out fast for both. So get there quickly and get your name on the list so you can be a part of these things. And of course, like I said, we have some other series coming up soon.
Yeah, we have like 100 people signed up for that Wayne Bergeron clinic. I think it might be a big deal or something. I don't know.
Yes. As a viola player, I'm probably going to watch that. So I'm sure it's going to draw all kinds of.
I was looking at the registration list, and we have almost 100 people signed up for that clinic, which is a lot of trumpet players. We even have a couple trumpet players at the University of the Philippines. So trust me, we take 300 people. We have the University of the Philippines, some of their graduate students signing up. So trust me, you won't want to miss that one. Yeah. Again, the audition deadline for the chamber orchestra and all of our other ensembles is on December 19th. It's right here at the bottom. We can't stress it enough to share this. This is going to stay up on YouTube and it's going to stay up on Facebook. So if you know a string student who just didn't get the chance to jump on or didn't know about it or whatever, send them over to our Facebook page. We'd love for them to watch this and learn more about the organization. I want to say a giant thank you to Symphonic Underground. Special thank you to Daniel for getting that viola out to Mr. Brandon Bangle's amazing student. Special shout out to Livia over at LNG Entertainment and OYCE. And for being our social media marketer. Big thank you to Nadine Jimenez, who's also here, right? Hi. There they are. Yeah. They ran the stream from behind the scenes. And Utley, thanks Utley. They're the ones who make our Facebook look beautiful and our Instagram look super awesome and make this stream happen. Super giant thank you to Mr. Brandon Bangle, who was like rushing over here after his drumline rehearsal after his long day teaching in the public schools. And we know that's definitely a doozy, a real fun job right now, right? So thank you for doing it and just sharing your expertise and your knowledge. And then obviously to the one and only the co-host, Mr. Antonio Figueroa, for again being the band director of our Edgewater, rushing home just to be here and get this information out to you guys. Don't forget, we have one last live stream. That's in 2 weeks. So Wednesday the 18th. Thanks, Livia, for your calendar. The 18th, and that'll feature all of our woodwind staff. Yes. So it's a jam-packed hour because we have a lot of woodwind ensembles. But again, you won't want to miss it. The lineup is going to be amazing. You get to hear from some of our partners. I think we have LMP Entertainment and some studios. So again, yeah. So you won't want to miss that. But with that, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll let you guys go back to your. Hey, Dave Venegas, you just missed it, but it's okay because it'll stay up on our Facebook, so you'll be able to watch the whole thing. Start over. For you, I would, but we have some pizza we have to eat. but with that, I'll let you guys go back to your election watching and your I don't know. And what are people watching on now on Netflix?
The Mandalorian's out on Disney.
The Mandalorian, yeah, the new season of the
out now.
It's all about Disney Plus now, right? So check out your Mandalorian. Go back to your homework doing, because I know you students love doing your homework, right? And I will get to my pizza. So with that, don't forget again, register OYCE.org/register right at the bottom. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you for staff, and with that, goodbye.
Have a good night.
Thank you.